Alright, let's dive into something that's been buzzing in the entertainment world lately. Disney's recent admissions about the performance of some of their big-budget films. Now, before we get into the nitty-gritty, let me just say this: what makes this really interesting is how Disney is spinning the narrative. They're not just admitting failure. They're redefining what success looks like. And personally, I think that's a masterclass in corporate storytelling. So here's the deal. Disney's live-action Moana and Star Wars. The Mandalorian and Grogu underperformed at the box office. Big time. Moana barely scraped past its budget. And Mandalorian and Grogu? Well, it's the lowest-grossing live-action Star Wars film ever. Ouch. But here's where it gets fascinating. Disney's not sweating it. Why? Because they're pointing to merchandise sales and streaming potential as the real wins. And honestly, that's a bold move. Let's start with Moana. The live-action remake has been a bit of a meme fest, thanks to The Rock's wig. Which, let's be honest, stole the show before the movie even hit theaters. But what many people don't realize is that Disney's strategy here isn't just about ticket sales. They're playing the long game. The original Moana is one of the most streamed movies ever, and Disney's banking on that brand loyalty to drive Disney Plus views and merchandise sales. From my perspective, this is Disney admitting that the theatrical release was almost like a marketing campaign for their broader ecosystem. Now, The Mandalorian and Grogu. This one's a bit trickier. It's a Star Wars movie, and Star Wars is supposed to be a box office juggernaut. But here's the thing. The film still made a profit, and it boosted Star Wars merchandise sales. If you take a step back and think about it, Disney's essentially saying, hey, we're not just in the movie business, we're in the Star Wars business. And that business is about more than just ticket stubs. It's about keeping the franchise alive in every possible way: toys, clothes, theme parks, you name it. What this really suggests is that Disney is shifting its focus from traditional box office metrics to a more holistic view of franchise value. Personally, I think this is a smart move in today's fragmented media landscape. Streaming, merchandise, and theme parks are where the real money is. But it also raises a deeper question. Are we seeing the end of the box office as the ultimate measure of a film's success? I mean, if a movie bombs in theaters but drives billions in merchandise sales, was it really a failure? One thing that immediately stands out is how Disney is framing these underperformances as part of a larger strategy. They're not just damage controlling. They're redefining success on their own terms. And that's something I find fascinating. It's like they're saying, we didn't fail, we just succeeded in a different way. But here's the kicker. Does this mean we'll see fewer theatrical releases from Disney in the future? Will they focus more on direct-to-streaming projects that can still drive merchandise sales? A detail I find fascinating is Disney's announcement about filling Disney Plus with user-made TikTok content. This feels like a pivot away from their earlier plans to flood the platform with AI-generated videos. In my opinion, this is Disney trying to stay relevant in a world where short-form content is king. But it also feels like a bit of a Hail Mary. Are they really going to let TikTok creators define the content on their flagship streaming platform? That's a risky move, but it's also a sign of how desperate they are to stay ahead of the curve. So where does this leave us? Well, for one, the chances of a live-action Moana 2 seem pretty slim. And as for The Mandalorian and Grogu, it's anyone's guess if we'll see those characters again anytime soon. But what's clear is that Disney is playing a long game, and they're not afraid to take risks, even if it means admitting that some of their biggest bets didn't pay off at the box office. As we wrap up, I'll leave you with this thought. Disney's not just a movie studio. They're a brand, a lifestyle, and a global phenomenon. And in that context, a box office bomb might just be a small blip in a much larger, more profitable strategy. So the next time you hear about a Disney movie underperforming, remember, that's only part of the story. The real question is, what's the bigger picture? And personally, I can't wait to see how this all unfolds.